this was not intended to be our venue for this conference. We are supposed to use SLT. But just like the name of the organization, my brother and friend already said it, is you can. So it's more like it's answering to its name. So despite all the things that have happened and that is happening, are we still going to continue with the conference or not? The easiest way out would have been, let's just cut it, then we reschedule the program. I have one or two other persons. We are supposed to have a lot of things really went wrong, like lots of things went wrong. But for that, I owe you all an apology. For you to be here, either by plan or by chance.
By charging your phone.
All right, by charging your phone. It is important that you take every minute and every word you hear from this place serious. The reason is this: you will only get as much from life as much as you are ready to take from it. So if you are writing, you should write. Life does not give to anyone what you think you deserve. The only thing you get from life is the exact thing you are expecting. It is not what you hallucinate about. It is not what you imagine. It is what you are ready to fight for. Okay, so before I continue, I really want you to put it up again for my friend and my brother. I call him this year. In case you don't know, this is an NGO, and he is also the founder and president of the Paradigm. Paradigm is an organization that teaches people how to become financially intelligent, not just how to make money. So you will notice in all of the things he was saying, he was talking more about money. It's not because he likes money too much, but it's not because he lost money, but he likes money. Okay, and he likes to teach people how to make money, cool cash. Me for one, when I get to some junctions about making money and decisions about money and investment, is my number one plug. Not because I am daft, but because you will only be deceiving yourself in life when you think you are self-sufficient. Okay? Yourself, the only person that is self-sufficient in the whole of the universe, both the unseen and the seen world, is God. Every other person is built to solely dependent on God and to co-depend on another human being. So if you think for once that you don't need someone to teach you, as a matter of fact, the problem with males and guys is that we have this cliché in our mind: if I tell him to teach me, it means I am lesser than him. You are doing yourself a big wrong if that's your thinking. The last time I checked, the student is supposed to be better than the teacher. So if you think that by asking a colleague or by asking someone or submitting yourself for mentorship, you are doing yourself a disfavor and thinking that if I tell him, say, make he teach me now, then he will think, say, he sabi pass me. Of course, he sabi pass you. That's why he knows more than you. And that his result is different. There is only one way to become better in life, and that is to follow someone that is better. Every time your life is going haywire, or that your life looks like it is not looking the way you intend it to be, there is only one thing involved. The people you are following are wrong. Right before this conference commenced, someone walked up to me right in this hall. I was somewhere around there. And one 400 level student walked up to me and was asking me some questions. I will not go into details of the question, but I will tell you the answers I gave him. One of the answers is this, because he was asking me questions about purpose and his life. He wants to find direction and a number of things. And one of the things I told him is this: your life is a perfect replica of the closest 5 people to you. You don't need a prophet to tell you. See, I made a post one time and I said, let the prophets and the pastors have a good night's rest. Don't kill them with questions about see into my future. The closest and the easiest way to see your future, look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 closest people to your life. That is your future you are looking at. So, that's the bitter truth. And that was what I told him. Because you must know this. Hello. You must know this. Your life is not yours. Your life is a part of something bigger. Until you find that bigger thing, you will not see satisfaction in yourself. And the only way you can find that bigger thing is in the mirror that you place before yourself. And that mirror are your friends. That's why we have a cliche. Your friends determine your end. The association you keep determines the destination you end in life. It is not a matter of they say. You will discover by virtue of recalling only that everything around you now, look at it backward, 10 years back, your best friends. Maybe your best friend is a smoker, and the second best friend is a fornicator, and the third best friend is the type that doesn't mind anything that happens, anything at all. Man must survive and we must make am. And even if it's Yahoo Plus and everything, that is their ideology. And you wonder why your life is in such a shambles, and you cannot find the focus and the focal length for it. It is not coincidence. We can continue to talk and talk and talk. I have like 6 pages book of things that I intend that I will teach in this conference. I really prepared for this. But in the midst of it all, I think I've not even started anything. This is it. One thing you must understand is this. My brother and friend here has mentioned something about action. You must understand that in this life, there are 3 Ds to becoming more successful in life, or becoming more of anything you ever desire. Do you want a better relationship? You want a better life? You want better family? You want anything? Mind you, before I cut to the chase, my Smuro of blessed memory said something. He said that whatever it is, and I mean whatever it is that you want out of life, or that you want your life to become, if you don't learn it before the age of 25, the chances of learning it after 25 is slim. Which means the chances of ever learning it at all winds down after 25. So look at yourself. Everyone seated there, are you up to 25 years? Are you more than 25? Are you below 25? For those of you that are less than 25, all thanks to God for your life. But for those of you that are also above 25, well, make hay while the sun shines. The reason is this. The human brain is wired in such a way that after 25, your brain comes to a point where it begins to find expression for everything it has known. So if you have been a smoker all your life, downward 25, after 25, your addiction level goes to another level. Not because you want to, but because your brain has mastered it and has taken it as its reality. So your brain begins to find ways to give expression to it. So although you used to do Benson before, and then you used to do romance. But now, after 25, even if nobody advises you, you will begin to grow appetite naturally, because now your brain wants better expression of what you have fed it. So let's go to the 3 Ds, the 4 Ds of becoming more. Becoming more. You know, my brother has talked about how you face your fears, how we grew up from nothing, and that is our story. This is an organization, we are having a lot of challenges, not because we don't know what to do. But you know, one of my mentors told me something that gave me peace in the midst of all of these troubles. He said, sometimes, in the midst of your perfection, in the midst of your excellence, in the midst of everything you've ever known, you may not necessarily be the problem. But when you surround yourself with the wrong people, they can constitute the devourer. Which means, your life necessarily does not have to go wrong. But when you are surrounded with wrong people, they will constitute a legal ground in your life for things to go wrong. The 4 Ds for becoming more. Let me hope I will be able to do this and then get out of your face. You already agree with me that life holds more than you can imagine. The reason why you have the fears you have is not because that those fears are not real. As a matter of fact, I made a short audio post one time like that for this conference, and I said, there is no principle on earth that will teach you how to eradicate your fear. I don't teach it. None of my mentors taught it. Nobody will ever teach you. If you are looking for someone to teach you how you will never experience fear again, you may have to go to heaven, because that's the only place where there is no fear or doubt or tears. You may want to go ahead of us and give us stories. But if you want to live a life that is more than the average, if you have any dream at all, one of the reasons why I started the kind of integrated network is because I realized that a lot of young people grow up from childhood. I have a lot of fascinating dreams and desires about my life and how my life should become. But I realized that as I was growing older, a lot of things started going wrong. And I find myself swinging from those things that I thought were my dreams and desires. And you must understand this. As big as heaven is, sometimes the only way heaven will move in your direction is to give you one dream, and to give you one desire, and to give you one aspiration. And if you walk away from it because you are not sure, as powerful as God is, they become helpless on your case. Because you walked away from all the intervention they packaged in one dream. And that is why UCAN is there. That is why we started it. So that every single person have dreams. Because you must also understand this, that the truth of the matter is this. Those dreams, they come like pictures. They come like inspirations. They come like you are daydreaming. Sometimes you can even tell yourself that this one, I'm not sure saying that my own it is. Because it looks too good to be true, looking at yourself. But God never gives you what you can handle. Because if He gives you what you can handle by yourself, then you can live independently from Him. So God gives you more than you can handle, so that you can always look up to Him and say, Kai, Papa. And then He gives you more than you can handle, so that you can always look at someone else and say, Kai, who else is doing this thing? Or am I crazy? That is when you realize that you are not alone in this world. None of your story is peculiar to you. None of your struggle is unique. Everyone has the same story, but in different write-ups. Life holds more than you can handle. And you must understand the place of a fellow human. You undermine it, you are doomed. You understand it, you understand peace. There is no prophecy and there is no cause. It's not a prayer point that you say amen to. And it's not a cause that you will say God forbid. You can God forbid all your life, and the result will keep telling you that God forbid that God forbid too. When you live a life that is inconsistent with principles, as a matter of fact, you will agree with me with this, that the whole world, as big as it is governed by only one thing, principles. God is not anywhere holding the world and saying, let it be like this. But He placed the principle in place. We call it the solar system. We call it the law of gravity. We call it a lot of things in physics. But it is called a principle. You define it, you are in a storyline. There is no shortcut and there is no way around it. When God gives you a vision, He gives you an aspiration. When you have a dream and a desire of becoming more, you will definitely be faced with fear. You will be faced with terror. You will be faced with all manner of thoughts of incapacitations. Let me tell you one thing. If you feel it, you are creating a horror movie for yourself. But you can starve that fear and then be able to do more. The reason why a lot of us are not doing so much in our life is not because there is fear. It is because we are feeding it too much. You spend too much time in your mental horror, and then you wonder why your life is so much of a mess. You don't understand the power of your mind. And so you think that it is all about thinking and imagining. It is not about thinking and imagining. Your mind has the capacity to amplify whatever you give to it. So if the only thought that ravage your mind throughout the day, 24 hours, is about sex and every girl that walks around in bikinis, then you are in trouble, because your mind will amplify it and you will wonder, without watching a pornography, your life is such a mess of lasciviousness. Your mind creates for you the reality that will feed it in your imaginations. So your imagination is supposed to help you recreate the life that you want. So you can feed it properly, and then you have a life that you ever expected and you can never imagine. And you can feed it the wrong way, and then you produce a horror movie out of it. And when that happens, you pray, you will fast. You have pastors that will milk you like a cow. You have prophets that will turn you to mark ATM, because you have refused to obey the fundamental principle of increase and becoming more. Facing your fear. Your fear is not unreal, your fear is real. The only reason why it is so big is because you are feeling it, and that is the only thing you are looking at. When your fear is the only thing that you look at and you see, then the reality in front of you will become a nightmare. But when you do something else, which is in the 4 Ds that I'm going to mention now, inclusive of the word action, that was the key subject word in what my brother mentioned, you will realize that there is so much more to your life that you can do that you least expected. The first one I mentioned is desire. One thing you will agree with me is this: intelligence is not a game of IQ, grades, or education. I was telling someone this afternoon, and I said, it's part of what I want to take, but there's no time. But I was telling someone this afternoon, I said, intelligence is not a game of IQ. That you have your IQ is rated 160 something, 140 something, is not the best bet that you are intelligent. that your CGPA is rating 4.4 points is not the best bet that you are intelligent. That you have the best academic accolades does not prove that you are really intelligent. The true test of intelligence is in this last statement I'm about to make. If you want to write it down quickly. It is in this, the ability to do right things and not to do things right. I take it again. True intelligence is tested in your ability to do right things and not just to do things right. For the last time, your ability to do right things over doing things right. You must understand that, and your life will become more organized. There are many things you do that you want to do that you will do. They may be wrong, but then because you strive to make it right, you will do it. And you deceive yourself to think that you are right, but it's wrong. There is something that is called doing the wrong thing, or what is good is not necessarily right. You may be going to Abuja. Is Abuja a good place? Yes. You may travel to the US. Is the US a good place? Yes. But is the US the next place for you to go to now? Looking at your destiny, looking at the premises around your life. Is that the right place for you to be? Yes. You can say yes. But what will define that yes is not just in the answer. It is in the question that you can answer afterwards. So if I give you 4 or 5 questions, if you answer them articulately, that will mean you either are able to go or unable to go. Answer. All right, so that is that. So your ability to do right things. So you should be able to define, is this right? Yes, so I should do it. It may produce fear, like my brother said. It means you should do it more. You may have oppositions. It means you should do it more. You have desire. I have a quote here. I said, if you have the desire to change, now, and I'm summarizing the whole 4 things together. So you want to write, you should write. I have it written that I said, if you have the desire to change, the decisiveness to take action, the determination to persist, the discipline to move yourself and to make yourself do whatsoever you should and you need over what you want. If you can do these things, becoming more will become cheap. Facing your fear will become cheap. Like we already know that fear is false evidence appearing. They are figments of your imagination. You created it. You watch horror movie and now you couldn't sleep. Excuse me first. You watch the horror movie, now you couldn't sleep. And you woke up complaining and telling everybody you had a nightmare. Whose fault is that? You fed your imaginations wrongly. Now your life is in a mess. And you are complaining that the pastor and the government are the cause of your trouble. How? I don't know. Alright, thank you. Alright, so if you got that that short quote, so I should just go ahead to mention decision, your ability to make decision. Decision equals action. Your ability to make the right decisions is very important. Determination. Determination reflects your persistence. I have written down here, I said, nothing in the world can replace persistence. You can agree with me, this is very simple said. Nothing in the world can replace the word persistence. You can do all you can be anything you want to be, but if you are not persistent in whatever you want to be, your becoming more is only a daydream. This is what I mean. You have a lot of people that are talented, but being talented is not enough. I have here, I said, talent is not enough. I said, nothing is more common in the world than unsuccessful talented men. Yeah. Nothing is more common in this world than unsuccessful talented men. They are talented, they are unsuccessful, but they are men. That's a tragedy.
Okay.
Because there are people, you will realize with me that, see, no matter how talented you are, the world will not celebrate your intensity until they see consistency in your life. See, you can do everything in your power. Heaven can come down and, we used to have a cliche in the church. We used to say that what the anointing gives you, you need character to keep. So it does not matter how anointed you are, which anointed man of God said, go forth into the world and prosper. It's a matter of time. That anointing can put you in the top office, but that anointing cannot keep you there. Contained in that anointing is not the ability to keep you. What has the ability to keep you is your character formation. If that is weak, you are on your own. And may the Lord help you in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, so this is not a church, so don't mind me. All right, so I have here, I said, geniuses will not help you. Unrewarded genius is almost a parable and a proverb everywhere in the world. And education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. The world is full of educated derelicts. Derelicts. The truth of the matter is this, as I round up my session. Forbes says something. Henry Forbes. You should all know Henry Forbes. When I was doing my research for what to teach tonight, I stumbled upon one of his quotes. And he said this. He said, failure is just another opportunity for you to do things better. Better put, he said, failure is just another opportunity for do things more intelligently in another way. So if you think that you have failed, if you think that your life is a mess, that's not the end. It is supposed to be an avenue for you to come up with a more intelligent. Remember, we already defined intelligence to mean your ability to do right things and not just to do things right. So although you might be doing the right thing and people are not commending you, people's opinion should not be the definition of your excellence. What you call excellence should not be the product of people's comments. Because if that is it, people don't celebrate good things until it becomes too far away from their reach. The world will not celebrate you until you become so big that the people that you thought should have started out with you are 1,000 miles away from you. So if your definition of I'm doing fine is my friend, I was talking to someone today or yesterday, I said, the reason why a lot of things, I was expecting all of this mess. Not because I wanted it to happen like this or end up like this. But you will understand with me, there's a point here that Dale Carnegie made mention of. See, the ability of a successful man is in his foresight. Your ability to become successful and to become whatever you want to become is in your foresight. Not just the desire of the present, but your ability to persist through. You need foresight to be able to persist through. So if you cannot see further, you cannot see the bigger picture, and all you are seeing is the comment, the critics, the opinions, and the insults, and the downfalls and the failure. Remember, failure is supposed to be a ladder for you to make a more intelligent decision. It's not supposed to slide you down like a glacier. So if you look at yourself and remember backward, how many failures have you had? So it's not me saying it again. You can count how many failures you've had. What did you make out of those failures? With your own answer, you can know how many opportunities to become better you have thrown away. And there is still going to be more. More failures to knock on your door. It's only your choice to either keep riding it via persistence, called determination, or you slide back. It's your choice. You may think everything is normal, school and scam, everything is normal. It is normal until you realize that the person you call your best friend is now 1,000 miles away from you. And for you to reach that person, you will now be saying that you are sliding me, you are snubbing me, you don't have time for me again. It's not his fault though. There are times and seasons in life, and every time you miss an opportunity, a gap is produced between you and the next person. I leave you to that. A successful man will profit. Okay, this one was Dale Carnegie. He said, a successful man will profit from his mistakes and try again a different way. Zig Ziglar said something lastly as I round up. He said, see, this one is even funny. I'm a computer scientist. So this one is funny to me. He said, Zig Ziglar said something. He said that you might be configured. That's what he said. You might be engineered for success, but programmed for failure. He said you might be engineered for success, but programmed for failure.
Okay. You get it?
Engineering has to do with structure.
Yes.
Programming has to do with functionality and the software, the core, the heart. You might have the build, you might have the destiny, you might have the capacity and the desires for success. But what really runs your life is the program you have been programmed with. The lines of code in your mind. The decisions that you have allowed to hold sway in your life. The experiences you have given power to by feeding it in your imaginations. Because your experiences are supposed to help you make a more effective decision in your life. But when you allow your experiences to be the reason why your life is what it is, you will become like two trees in the same wilderness. But one attached its roots to a fountain that is not far away. And the other one decides to stand independent and say, I can live alone. And although the two of these trees are in the same wilderness with the same scorching sun, one thing remains different. One connected itself to another source. One decided to be independent, and so is suffering from all manner of. And so your destiny from heaven, your destiny from birth, might be for success and for huge success. But what runs that success engineering work to a successful limelight is the program that you are configured with. And that is why I used to tell people, I said, success in itself is not a destination. Success is a journey. If you are writing, you should write that down. Success is not a destination. Success is a journey. And that success that is a journey has a number of things that are inside. Take it or leave it. Your life is as a result of the decisions you made yesterday. You may like it, you may hate it, but that is it. But worry is not the reason why your life is a mess. Your parents are not the reason why your life is a mess. The reason why your life is like this now is because you decided your life should be like this 10 years ago, 5 years ago. The life you want tomorrow will only come to you when you change the decisions, your desires, your determinations. These are the things that are contained in your success. I believe I have made 1 or 2 points that I've ranged on. I want to ask 1, 2, 3 questions, and I will leave you to answer it as I step away from your front. These are the questions. What is the highest moment you've experienced in life? What is the highest moment you've experienced in your life? What is your peak of experience? What is the peak of your experience in life? I said, the first question is this: what is the peak of your experiences in life? What moment can you classify as your happiest moment, as your most joyful moment? When can you classify as that? Just close to it. The next question is this. You want to answer it? You want to answer the question? No, it's not for you to answer me. Okay. All right. It's not for you to answer me. Okay. All right. The second question is this. What is the most debased experience you've ever had in life? Yes. What is the most humiliating moment in your life? When is your peak? And when was your most debased moment? This is the third question. What is the prevalent emotion in between those 2 gaps? What is the prevalent emotion that you felt What was transiting from that debased moment to the peak of your moment? What is that emotion? What have you been feeding yourself with? What have you been doing with yourself? What have you been expecting out of life? Your life can only produce for you as much as you are ready to cultivate. The reason why your life is not producing so much is because you don't have the capacity to cultivate it. And so the rest die because your capacity kills it. One of the shortest way to becoming more in life is enlarging on your inside. Building so much capacity for more. Developing a trench behind your back. Having some kind of mental reservoir that someone can wake you up in the middle of the night with the worst situation ever, and you still have the ability to take it like it is a chicken story. Some of you, don't let me go there. We will digress. But that is it. I will be stepping off the stage now, and I want you to go home with these questions. Try your best to answer it before this weekend runs out. If you can, and if you will, get back to me personally on the answers. Because how much you will produce out of your life is captured within those two moments and what is in between. If you're unable to properly articulate these answers, and I don't mean that you should write a long episode of statements, just put them in 1, 2 words and 2 sentences, and just let them be there, very articulate. If you're unable to articulate your answers, you might have another 5 years of hope without reality. Thank you.